If you're offended by this, or you were offended by this, then Druski was doing his job. Hi everyone, it's Dr. Philmont Bostic. I am a PhD in practical theology, and I want to talk about these two clips. I know some of you have sent me both of these clips over the last couple of weeks. A lot, the Erica Kirk one recently, and then the preacher one a whole bunch a few weeks ago. And I wanted to speak on it then. I'm glad I kind of waited, because this is the perfect opportunity to point out that Druski is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. If you didn't know, my academic research is on humor, specifically black humor as it relates to preaching, but I did study some black humor, and Druski's doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing as a true black humorist. Druski's job, just like the black preacher's job, is to speak truth to power. It is to be prophetic, and that's what he's doing. And I know a lot of people got offended by what he said about the preachers, and some people got offended by what he's saying about Erica Kirk. And you notice it's on two different sides, but guess what? He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. This has been black humor since it arrived in this country. I know we've all used the term that's a cakewalk, but that term cakewalk actually comes from this contest they would have on plantations where African Americans would do this really stiff-legged dance in order to win a prize, such as a cake, hence the cakewalk. But the actual dance was the African Americans making fun of their slavers, showing how they moved really stiffly. So even since slavery, people have been using humor to push back against the status quo, or to push back against power. In this book, Lawrence Levine gives examples of how black humorists have, since the beginning of this country, been using humor to push back not only at political situations, but also to push back against religious leaders, especially the black preacher. Levine gives a couple of examples of this. One of the examples that he gives is that in 1890 in the South Carolina Constitutional Convention, a gentleman by the name of Ben Tillman was being heckled by people, and he yells at one of the black people in the audience and tells them that "I'll swallow you up." And the man responds back to Tillman by saying, "Yeah, you would have more brains in your stomach than you have in your head." Levine also points out that amongst one of the earliest and most distinct forms of humor comes from bluesmen and other people making fun of the black preacher's propensity for women, food, and other lust of the flesh. If you were offended by what Druski did, good. That's what he's supposed to be doing. The job of the black humorist, a good black humorist's goal, is to point out the hypocrisies in the world around them. Is to point out the foolishness that is happening around them, whether it be political or whether it be religious. And the challenge is, many of us are okay with him making fun of things as long as it's something that's not on our corner. And the goal of the black humorist, as much as the preacher, nothing should be sacred in the sense of it is keeping us from coming together, it's keeping us from truly understanding each other. That's the goal of the humorist, is to point that thing out. And so Druski's just doing his job. And I know many of you might not like Druski. You might think his comedy is not for you, but comedy is subjective, just like preaching is subjective. But he's doing his job, and that's what's important.